Should you reapply for the EIDL grant if you applied in March and April and in 3 months nothing has been done with your file? Hey everybody, this is LALATE with an EIDL Grant Bombshell update for today. Earlier today we delivered an EIDL loan shocker about problems with SBA and their communication skills, and I don't mean their personalities. But now we get to the EIDL Grant Bombshell about whether you should submit what is essentially a duplicate application because the prior one has not been worked on. And we'll be answering 133 of your questions. Let's get to some of those quickly first before we get to that shocking detail about maybe you should reapply. Robin W. I think the scarf bandit is keeping the money for herself. Scarface? I don't know. Amelia, I'm giving up at this point. No, Amelia. I'm an OG April, got denied in May. Credit score dropped. Sent 2 reconsiderations, no response. Got the grant last week, still no grant, no money in my account. It's a disgrace. A week is not that long, and I know that sounds ridiculous, but a week is not that long if you're getting a grant funding email and you haven't received the grant. I would stay with it. Gildan, I got my $1,000 grant, took them 7 days. So there you go. It takes about at least 7 days. I called every day, not sure if it helped, but it doesn't hurt. Interesting. Grandma Ducky's still waiting for the grant. 10 days. Okay, so Lori has waited 10 days. She still hasn't gotten the grant. William Mickelson, people are still waiting for the grant. Tifalis, I applied 3 days, so Tifalis got his grant 3 days. Blake, take a shot every time it's collateralized, as mentioned. Intercepted, feeling good, looking good, LA, best EIDL PUA and UI on YouTube. Thank you so much. I really do. I do agree with you. I've seen the crap out there, and boy, it's as bad as Javita's Taste and Scars. Bagware, did I just say that? I just say that. I told my friend to apply for her business yesterday, and she did, and they put the grant of money in her account last night. Really? You know, sometimes I wonder if these stories are true. Because, you know, you can't... Okay, let's actually read that sentence back because I don't believe it. Now, I don't believe... I'm not talking about the viewer. I'm talking about the viewer's friend. My friend applied yesterday and she got the grant money in her account last night. No, it's absolutely false. I mean, it's total crapola. Because you know why? He's saying that a friend applied yesterday and the same day got the grant money. There's no routing system for money that does direct deposit that you get it within minutes. Not even a wire transfer lands that fast. The best she could make the argument is she applied on, Tuesday and she got the money on a Wednesday. There's no such thing as you apply on Tuesday and get the money minutes later on Tuesday. I don't. I'm starting to call BS on a lot of these stories from friends of friends. Cynthia, I almost think they're saying like to get people's goat. Cynthia, with everyone calling the SBA, just keeping some of us actually get in touch with them. Lawrence Bly, perhaps the most disturbing thing about SBA is a refusal to voluntarily correct its errors. Very well said. Phil, I spoke to Tier 2 today, and they're not considering any loan increase, no more reconsideration for loan increase. They said it's an SBA policy and overrides the CARES Act. I should have led with that. I guess Kimberly Butler's at work changing the CARES Act again. The Czar. As far as I know, you can get both EIDL and PUA. Matt Fenershin, I've been a week since I filled out the bank info, so he's waiting about a week. Kathy, finally got my grant today, 1,000. Danny Boy, love the shirts, love the scars, show us the shoes. You want to see the shoes? Oh my goodness. Okay, here's the shoe. It's a sandal. I mean, it's California. What do you expect? That's the usual slander y'all give to people in California that we're always in sandals. So yeah, it's a sandal today. Gert Reynolds, SBA notified me a prior application was now in process. Have heard nothing. I just have to wait, or should I call back? Yes, I'll always call back. So boy, just a hot mess, and just keeps on getting hotter by the moment. Brian B. just received an email from SBA, actually said my full name, thanking me for filling out the grant verification portal. That my information is correct, still should be deposited, should be a good sign. Lori Toller got an email, showed Javita was in our state, showing the good stuff. Jeez. It's just a hot mess. Let's get to some of the bombshells right now, because boy, it's just becoming, things are getting off the chain. And yesterday we did a video about whether people are never getting grant money ever again. Now we're hearing people, they're saying that SBA is telling them that they're not increasing loans. Then we're hearing people that says SBA is telling them not decreasing loans. It's starting to become like a free-for-all of, we used to laugh about goalposts from SBA moving by the day, or at least by the, now it seems like they're moving by the hour. And what's very disconcerting is that you have these tales out there of people who claim to inappropriately, fraudulently put down 10 employees to get $10,000 and get funded with 24 hours. I don't believe that's happening. But, I mean, those are the tales out there, and people are rubbing them in people's mouths and faces. But let's get to the real helpful thing, because it's not usually helpful to talk about people and their crazy stories on the sidelines. Here's the helpful thing. The helpful thing is that I have some Vortex viewers still. I have some of you who applied in March and April and haven't seen anything. Those are my vortexes. Now, when we talked about vortexes originally, and this day is our 2-month anniversary, and when I was first talking about vortex, I was talking about, something maybe worked on the application, but some of you have never had anything worked on the application. You haven't received a grant. You haven't received a loan. You haven't received a denial. You haven't received a penny. You haven't heard anything, and you applied in March and April. Well, here's today's advice, and you can choose what you want to do or not. Today's advice is to reapply. Because if SBA in 3 months has done nothing on a file, never paid you a grant, never paid you a loan, never gave you denial, never gave you an approval, then why not just reapply? One viewer of this channel, if I understood him correctly, but I'm not going to name him by name because I wasn't clear from his comment yesterday in the EIDL loan video earlier, if he reapplied or did not. But what I suggested to him and a few other viewers yesterday was, hey, if you have files, if you have EIDL files that you filed in March and April, and that incredulous office of SBA has done nothing on your file in 3 months, then go the hell and reapply again. Because what are they going to say? You have a duplicate application? That may be good for you. Why? Here's the advice. Because what they do when there's the duplicate application, they say, oh, there's a prior application. The prior application is first in time. Well, thank you. Start working on that prior application. You have never even acknowledged it existed. So that might be the worst case scenario. There's no indication that there's anything wrong in reapplying for a file that never has been worked on. Now, you are not to reapply if you have already gotten grant money, if it's even $1,000. You're not supposed to reapply to get extra money. You're not supposed to reapply to get extra loan. You're not supposed to reapply to increase things down or raise things down. But what I'm saying is that if you have never seen any progress on your file, and this is a couple of viewers, several viewers who have never seen any movement on their file. They have emailed SBA. They have called their senators. They have contacted their House representatives. They've done everything a person humanly possibly can do, and the file has never moved an inch. Then why not refile? It only seems to make sense. Brian, after receiving $1,000 grant, I went and froze my credit score 3 times, potential hard credit. Paul, scores have remained the same so far. I can unfreeze the account by a simple phone call. So if you're a new applicant for EIDL as of June or May, it must be unfrozen for them to give you the grant money. Donna Rich, if you see the grant and decline the EIDL loan, what happens? You're fine. I mean, if you don't want the loan, you don't have to take the loan. Tim Wilson, Bombshell drinking game tonight. Looking forward to my new shirt money. How am I doing on the shirts so far? Clandon Alexander, I got proof for $1,800 EIDL loan. Only received $1,000. I love that. So he got approved for an $1,800 loan, and they gypped him on the check. They only sent him a part of the loan money. He's doing a reconsideration. Thoughts I'll get something or some. No, I mean, why are you doing a reconsideration? I would send them a threatening letter and say, how dare you? If you signed a loan document, the loan document says $1,800, and they didn't send you $1,800, they sent you $1,000 or $500, I'd send them a threatening letter. So how dare you? I'm going to cancel this loan and give it right back to you. I mean, you're not funding my loan. What the hell is this? I mean, it's, the contract is void if they don't perform under the contract and give you all the money that the contract says for. Kimberly, wow, I can't believe you've been only around for 2 months. It seems like we've known you forever, been part of the family. Thank you for everything. Well, thank you. It is a family. It's a nice group of people on this channel. Anyone that's mean, shady, nasty, and there are some of those people out there, they are blocked, so they are never part of this family. Happy anniversary, Kelly Schneider. Thank you so much. Veronica Callowell. Do I report EIDL Grant if I'm a PUA? I don't think so. Hardcore training. Thank you for answering our questions. There's some additional information to be answered. Of course there is. Our EIDLs was permanently closed. We tried to reinstate it. Had to file a new LLC, matches the EIN. What is your advice now on the new LLC pending for today? Love your show. We train a lot of business owners. If you're waiting to apply for the EIDL, I would just tell your Secretary of State to hurry up with this LLC. I don't know why it takes so long to get an LLC process. It should only be like 24 hours. I would just wait. I mean, it's not like Javita's rolling over and paying people money real quickly. Tim Rice, contact a lot of senators. Finally, I've been funded. Wow. So Tim Rice contacted 2 senators' office over 3 months, finally funded. So it works out contacting a representative. That's incredible. Miguel the Bronx, thank you. As I've always said, anyone who's benefited from your guidance should donate at least $100. Very nicely said. Thank you. Peggy, I love watching you. Thank you for your advice, Paul. Dimitri, the email box is full for the reconsideration. Yes. So if you have questions to today's EIDL loan or grant video, or if you had questions to yesterday's and I didn't get to them because there's been a lot of them, drop them in comments below. I'll try to answer them. As always, stay in LA for more.